Sometimes you want to get hold of information in a different kind of structure. Up till now, we have seen one of the structures to get hold of information, and that structure or data structure was vector. And vector allowed you to get hold of values of similar types. So you can create a vector and you can basically have elements of similar type. So in this video, if you can see in this editor, I've created 4 vectors, and you can see the first vector consists of all the names of employees. The second vector consists of all the cities in which these employees are working. The third vector is showing the salaries of all these 4 employees, and the fourth vector is showing you the taxes of all these 4 employees. And this approach seems reasonable. For example, if you are only interested in the names of all the employees, you can basically get hold of these names using this variable. Likewise, if you are interested in cities, you've got uh, um, a vector of cities, and you can also check what the salaries are. Now, when you use this variable, that means that you are only interested in all the salaries of employees. You are not interested in any other information about those employees. So in that respect, it makes sense. But sometimes you want to have a different kind of structure. You are only interested in the first employee's information, and you're not interested only in name. You are interested mm, uh, in name, in city, in salary, in tax. And with the help of these 4 variables, you can get hold of that information, but that would be a rather complicated process, because these vectors are designed not to get information about individual employees. Rather, they are designed to get information about a specific element of all the employees. So this vector is created to get names of all the employees. This vector is created to get city of all the employees. This vector is created to get salaries of all the employees. So in a scenario where you are only interested to get information about uh, a single employee, all sorts of information about single employee, then you can use a different kind of data structure, and that data structure would be a list. uh, and list is slightly different to what a vector is. A vector can consist of element of similar types, but a list can consist of a collection of values of different types. And that's why list would allow you to save name of an employee, which is of character type, city of an employee, which is again a character type, but it would also allow you to save in the very same list salary, which is numeric type, and tax, which is also numerical value. So in this way, list would help you to save information about a single employee inside a single collection. So if I demonstrate you how you can create a list, you can basically use something like list over here, and you can store the name of the first employee, the city of the first employee, the salary, and the tax of the first employee. And once you create the list, you can basically um, uh, assign it to a variable, and then you can check the structure of this list just to confirm if it works as expected. So if I run these two lines of code, I can basically see that a list has been created and has been assigned to this variable, and then when we were trying to check the structure of this variable, it has given us the following output, and it is telling us that it's a list of 4 elements with the first 2 value of type character, the second 2 value of type numerical, and the contents of each element inside this list. So you can see Alice, the name, Shanghai, the city, the salary 1000, and the tax 100. So in this way you can basically save um, uh, all the information about a single employee within a specific variable, and lists can help you achieve that goal. Now, as I told you before, that list can have values of different types. Right now you can see a value of character type, in fact 2 elements of character types and 2 elements are of numerical types, but you can have integer types within a list. You can have values of um, uh, you can also have a value which is a list itself, or which is a vector itself. So you can have something like this as a part of um, element inside a list. So I can say, so let's say we want to see in which countries this employee has lived before. So let's say this employee has lived in France previously, and Germany. So you can create a, a vector. You can create a vector uh, as an element of this list. So if I clear the console and if I run these 2 lines of code again, what I'll see is that now it is a list of, in fact I've just made a small mistake. Let me just make sure that Control L, and if I run this again, so now I can see that it is a list of 5 elements. The first element is of character type, the second element is of character type, then we have 2 elements of type numerical, but if you see the third element, that is a vector itself, and this vector has 2 values. So this indicates that there are 2 values. The first value is France and the second value is Germany. So list does not only allow you to save values of character type, numerical types, integer types, but also allow you to save elements which are complete vector, or save elements which are complete list themselves. So in that way it's very powerful, and it gives you quite flexibility in terms of storing different kinds of data structure. So I've told you about lists, and I'll create a short video just to show you that you can also assign names to these values, because names can be very helpful if you want to retrieve any information from the list. So far in this video what we've seen is that you can create a list, you can assign it to a variable, and then you can see the structure of that variable. But if you want to retrieve any of these elements, you want some kind of subsetting operations, and for those subsetting operations you need to have some names, and names would help you to retrieve individual elements from this list. So I'll show you that in the next video.